One of the most pressing daily issues for Afghans, shortages of food and basic goods. The UN says it's committed to continuing operations, but its Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, or OCHA, faces a funding shortfall of hundreds of millions of dollars.
Operations to supply medical and humanitarian goods, as well as to support and other materials, are continuing, but more resources are needed. The current funding appeal for OCHA is $1.3 billion, is only 39% funded to now.
According to the UN Secretary General, some 18 million people, almost half the population, need humanitarian assistance to survive. 1 in 3 Afghans don't know where their next meal is coming from, and more than half of all children under 5 are expected to become acutely malnourished in the next year. A crisis further accentuated by the risk of financial collapse. Last year, foreign aid accounted for more than 40% of the country's GDP, according to the World Bank. But that aid flow is slowing as countries and international institutions decide whether to recognize the Taliban. The U.S. has already moved to freeze Afghan government reserves, and the International Monetary Fund has blocked the country from accessing emergency reserves. Meanwhile, many Afghan banks are closed, and others are limiting withdrawals, prompting long lines at ATMs as residents desperately seek cash. Jobs are also scarce.
بیکاری بخیر زیاته ده خلک په تشویش کې دي نو که دوی کوشش وکړي چې د خلکو د کار موقع مساعده کړي او تعلیم او تربیه کار شروع شي.
The Taliban will also have to respond to a displacement crisis. According to the UN Refugee Agency, 400,000 Afghans have been internally displaced since the beginning of the year.